The wind howled through the skeletal trees, carrying with it a chilling sense of dread that seemed to seep into the very fabric of the snowy, isolated town. The villagers had always known of the legends surrounding the Wendigo, a creature that fed on human flesh and was said to be born from desperation and cannibalism. But like all folktales, it felt like a distant nightmare that would never touch their lives. One fateful night, as the moon cast an eerie glow on the snow-covered landscape, I awoke to the sound of distant, unearthly cries. My heart raced, and my breath turned into mist as I peered out the frost-covered window. Shadows danced among the trees, and a sensation of pure terror gripped me. The legends were real. As the haunting cries drew closer, panic coursed through my veins. I had to warn the town, but the thought of stepping out into the frozen abyss paralyzed me. My mind raced, memories of the legends swirling with each gust of wind. But I couldn't let fear dictate my fate. Clutching a lantern in my frayed nerves, I ventured into the blinding whiteness. The town square was empty, the hushed streets devoid of life. I stumbled upon the remnants of the Wendigo's feast, a gnarled, blood-stained path leading through the snow. The acrid stench of decay clawed at my senses, and the dread deepened. I was the sole witness to the horror that had unfolded here. As I followed the trail of death, the Wendigo's footprints seemed to dance around my own, a haunting reminder that it was both predator and specter. Every snap of a twig, every whisper of the wind sent shivers down my spine. The darkness of the woods seemed to stretch endlessly, and I felt the weight of the Wendigo's gaze on me, its hunger tangible even in the frozen air. Each step was a battle against the icy grip of fear, but I knew I had to confront the beast if I wanted any chance at survival. Finally, I reached the heart of the forest, where the trees seemed to converge, creating a cathedral of shadows. And there, amid the darkness, stood the Wendigo, tall and emaciated. Its eyes glowed like frozen fire, locking onto mine with an intensity that threatened to steal my sanity. Its gaunt form was covered in mottled fur, matted with the blood of its victims. Its elongated limbs ended in razor-sharp claws that glistened with an otherworldly hunger. Time seemed to stand still as the Wendigo and I faced off. The very essence of fear crystallized in that moment. Its voice, a twisted chorus of agony and malice, reverberated through the trees, freezing me in place. But as the Wendigo lunged, instinct took over. I sprinted through the forest, the sound of its pursuit echoing in my ears. As the village came into view, a glimmer of hope ignited within me. I had to warn them, had to make them understand the horror that lurked in the shadows. Bursting into the town square, I screamed for them to flee to find safety. But it was too late. The Wendigo descended upon the village, a nightmare made flesh, its cries drowning out the echoes of my warnings. The once peaceful town was transformed into a scene of carnage and chaos. Houses were torn apart, lives extinguished in a frenzy of violence. In the aftermath, as the Wendigo retreated into the wilderness, I stood alone amidst the devastation, the survivor, the witness to the terror, haunted by the knowledge that such darkness existed in the world. The legends were no longer distant nightmares, but a chilling reality that had forever changed my life. As the winds howled through the empty streets, carrying with them the mournful cries of the lost, I knew that the Wendigo's whisper would forever linger in the corners of my mind, a reminder of the horrors that could descend upon the innocent when darkness took hold.